Ready to learn some geography? Because we are going to show you the geography inside and outside of Spring Valley Lake. In this chapter, you will see where the borders are for SVL, where the major places are inside SVL, where SVL is in relation to various places in Southern California, how far it is to various places from SVL, where the major shopping areas are located, the various regions around the Victor Valley, and where does our water come from. So where is Spring Valley Lake in relation to places we know? We are located in Southern California, roughly 1/3 of the way between Los Angeles and Las Vegas, in what is known as the Victor Valley. The Victor Valley is located in the south end of the Great Mojave Desert. Spring Valley Lake itself is located smack in the middle of the Victor Valley and is sandwiched between the three major cities of Apple Valley, Hesperia, and Victorville. The borders of the SVL community encompasses this area. This larger area that is governed by the county of San Bernardino is known as the Lakeside. This smaller area, governed by the town of Apple Valley, is known as the Equestrian Estates or the EQ side. As you can see here, the lakeside consists of a much larger area and includes the lake itself, most of Spring Valley Lake's facilities, and the private Spring Valley Lake Country Club and Golf Course. These two sides of SVL are separated by the Mojave River, which is the main drainage for this portion of the Mojave Desert. Most of the time, the Mojave River is a wide expanse of sand, but during times of rain in our desert and the mountains to the south, it can turn into a mighty river. Be sure you use the correct postal address for the lakeside or the EQ side. Now you will see where some of the places in Spring Valley Lake are located. For everyone that visits the lakeside, this is the main entrance that most people pass through. Here is where the Lakes Marina and SVL's administrative office is located. Not too far away is where the private Spring Valley Lake Country Club is located. This is the swimming beach located between the East and West Beach Parks at the south end of the lake. And here is where the SVL Community Building is located. Here is where many community activities are conducted, including board and committee meetings. This is also where one of the several parks are located, this one being Meadowlark Park. On the north side of the lake is where this pier is located, which is actually the lake's spillway. This is located next to a small park and fishing area, which is a great place to get a sweeping view of the lake. Now let's cross the Mojave River. The centerpiece of the EQ side is the Equestrian Center, which is located along the river's banks. The center has several amenities, including a small clubhouse, boarding stables, and an arena for equestrian events. This is where another park is located. This is Playfair Park. And this is where the third park, named Long Acres Park, is located inside of the Equestrian Estates. These are just some of the facilities, amenities, and places located inside Spring Valley Lake. Be sure to look at the amenities chapter to find out where other places are located inside of our community. These amenities are for all SVL property owners to enjoy. Next, you will see what is located immediately next to the borders of SVL. You are already familiar with the borders of SVL. Let's look to the north. The entire northern border of SVL Lakeside is butted up against the Mojave Narrows Regional Park. The borderline is Yates Road. Most of our western border butts up against the housing development known as Spring Valley Ridge. This development is not part of the SVL Community HOA. The border is Ridgecrest Road. Located at our southwest border is the Endeavor School of Exploration, which is a parent choice elementary school and is part of the Victor Elementary School District. Just east of Endeavor is Lakeview Middle School and is part of the Victor Valley Union High School District. Just south of Endeavor, on Ridgecrest Road, is the Sterling Inn Senior Community. We all pass by the Victor Valley Community College when we enter Spring Valley Lake using the Parkway. Adjacent to the college and butting up against the southern border of SVL Lakeside is the Mojave State Fish Hatchery. And located at our southeast border on the EQ side, and inside and part of our community HOA, is the shopping center where Home Depot, McDonald's, Johnny D's, Chevron, and several other businesses are located. So where is SVL in relation to various places within a 150-mile radius? The following map will point out where such well-known places are located. SVL is located near these mountain ranges, the San Gabriels, the San Bernardinos, and the San Jacintos. These mountains create what's called a rain shadow effect, which is what creates the desert that SVL is located in. The Mojave Desert exists behind this moisture-blocking rain shadow. So, whose fault is it that we have this rain shadow? Well, the San Andreas, that's who. The mountains were created by uplift from this infamous fault. As you can see, this major fault is not too far from SVL. It created the opening in the mountains we call the Cajon Pass. This map also shows other major faults, some of them related to the San Andreas. The following sequence will show the driving distances to various places from Spring Valley Lake. The next sequence will show some of the major shopping areas close to SVL and others that are south of the Cajon Pass, or as high desert folks refer to as, down below. Here is where our very own shopping center inside SVL is located. The pinkish areas mark the approximate area of where each shopping area is located. Since you live in the high desert now, it's a good idea to learn the names of all the local regions. The famous Route 66 passes through our Victor Valley. After heading south out of Barstow, it follows the railroad main line past Helendale, Silver Lakes, and Oro Grande. It turns into D Street as it enters Victorville and then turns right onto 7th Street and passes through downtown Victorville. When 7th Street crosses I-15 at Green Tree Boulevard, the route of Highway 66 disappears as the newer I-15 was built on top of the older Highway 66. Highway 66 separates from I-15 again halfway through the Cajon Pass. From there you can follow it into downtown San Bernardino, and from there it turns due west on 5th Street and then quickly turns into Foothill Boulevard, where it continues on to Los Angeles. Living in a desert, it is important to learn where our water comes from and where it goes. Much of our water comes from the watershed, highlighted on this map, of the northern slope of the San Bernardino Mountains. The water collects in various streams and starts its course towards the Mojave River. Some water is captured in Lake Silverwood, which is used to store water from the California Aqueduct. The same amount of water runoff that flows into Silverwood is released into the Mojave River and heads towards SVL. Another reservoir in the mountains is Lake Arrowhead. It captures mountain runoff from this area and sends it to the San Bernardino Valley. However, some water still ends up in the Mojave River. Water that flows out of Lake Silverwood passes through here in Summit Valley. Water that flows out of Arrowhead and other places in the mountains flows down through here in Deep Creek and joins with the water from Silverwood. Deep Creek and the Mojave River join behind the Mojave Forks Dam. This dam is located 9.6 miles upstream from SVL. This is only a flood-controlled dam and it is not used to store any water. This view is from about 25,000 feet from a commercial jetliner and looking south at the San Bernardino mountain range and the various points we just looked at. SVL can be seen in the lower right corner. Let's talk a little more about the Mojave River. The Mojave is a true oddity. It flows away from the ocean and ends in the middle of the desert. Most of the time, even though it looks dry and sandy, it has plenty of water always flowing underneath the sand. But sometimes during the winter months, the Mojave is a raging river. This is what the Mojave looks like most of the year, a seemingly big sea of sand. And this is what the Mojave looks like during wetter years. Some years, no water flows at all. The Mojave River runs its 140-mile course and ends at Soda Lake, just south of Baker along I-15. Soda Lake is quite large and during the winter months accumulates quite a bit of water. Usually the water is gone by late spring. During real wet years, the river extends past Baker and into another basin known as Silver Lake. Both lakes were full of water after the very wet winter of 2005. Sorry, but we digressed. Let's get back over to the Victor Valley. The California Aqueduct graces the southern edge of our high desert. It transports water from the Sacramento River Delta to Southern California. Before 1990, the high desert didn't take much water out of the aqueduct, but that changed after Barstow won a judgment in 1991 against all water well owners in the high desert. So now we are required to maintain a balanced and sustainable water supply for our future needs, while also supplying a similar balanced supply downstream. When the Victor Valley pumps out more water than Mother Nature provides us, we are in what is called an overdraft condition. Since we are always in such a condition, we need to acquire water from other sources, such as the aqueduct. This management of water is done by the Mojave Water Agency, also known as the MWA. To replenish water, the MWA built two small aqueducts. This is the one that sends replacement water into the Mojave River that is eventually used by SVL. Water is pumped out of the aqueduct, sent through a filter, then goes a small distance and is released into the Mojave River. The water distribution inside our small community involves several other neighboring entities. The collection of all these entities are known as the Verde Group. Here are the entities and their approximate locations. The State Fish Hatchery, next to the college, pumps water out of the Mojave River. It is used to raise fish that is sent to various state-operated lakes and rivers. From there, it flows through the country club and under the club's main dining room. Then it flows into our lake through two large pipes underneath the swimming beach. On the north side of our lake, water goes into the spillway, flows through another large pipe, and flows into the Mojave Narrows Park. Once in the park, it passes through several lakes. Finally, the water flows back into the Mojave River.